Hello, friends. We would like to discuss something very unique today in our show, and this is about the new platform, actually very popular platform, not new to India. It's called Your Passport to Grow, and we are very privileged to have the chairman of Mindfit Limited, which is the company behind YP2G, as we call it in the short. So let me welcome Mr. Neville Gond, and we will discuss further on this.
Good morning, CK. Good morning, everybody. And yes, it's brand new to India, but it's not brand new to Indians because we're going to be tapping into something that we should all be getting good at. And let me put a little context around that, CK, before we get into one particular subject. We go to school, and certainly in India, the expectation is you go to a good school, then you go to a good secondary school, then you go to a good university, and you get an absolutely brilliant degree. Sometimes one degree is not good enough. You go and do another one because you want to be more qualified. And then you make one expectation that your teachers have told you and your parents have told you all the way through: get a good degree, you'll get a good job. Well, I've got news for everybody out there. And it's not great news if you think that that is the equation, because it is an equation: get a good degree, get a good job, that works, because it doesn't work for many people. And there's a reason for that, CK, and you know the reason. Because it's the interpersonal skills we don't test, it's the attitude we don't test. And yet, if you're hiring somebody, what do you look for in a new recruit? Do you look for the qualifications and then hire the best qualified person? Or do you look for more? Simple question.
Well, I think as an employer, I will definitely look for a positive attitude and above all, can do person. Because, in our business, we want people who will take up the challenge and do it and not give up even before starting.
And the thing is, if you take on a new graduate, a newly recruited graduate that has got very little experience, it's always going to be a challenge. But you want them to have that grit, that get up and go, that I can do this attitude, even if this is brand new learning, because the likelihood is it will be brand new learning. But the majority of that learning is learning how to work with other people. And that's the purpose of your passport to grow. It's to fill that big gap in your CV that no one's filled before. So unless you've got this can-do attitude, you can tell if someone's got a can-do attitude by just asking two or three questions in about a minute. In fact, you can ask one question and you immediately know if that person's got a can-do attitude because they're open-minded, they're thinking, more importantly, they're listening. And the first topic we want to talk about today, because there are 10 elements of YP2G, the first element is communication. And you and I are long in the tooth, CK. One of the biggest problems in business is people don't know how to communicate. We don't know, the marketing team still struggle to talk to the customer. They're not generating the right information for the customer. They're not giving the customer what the customer wants to hear. They're giving the customer what they think they need to hear. So we're not listening, are we? And that's another fundamental part of being able to communicate. But we all know, and you know, CK, I'm sure, the importance of communication, don't you?
Yes, in fact, for the benefit of viewers, the YP2G program, which is now launched in India, is going to take you as a disciple and make changes, incremental changes in your thought process. And within some time, stipulated time, it will change your attitude towards the life, towards the way you actually approach the world. And that is why today we're discussing communication, where by taking small steps, spending 10 minutes a day, you can change your attitude. And that is one of the biggest leadership quality. So I think what are the main feature in the communication part? We would like to know from you, Deval.
Well, as I say, we split this into 10 parts. We follow something called STEM. I prefer to call it STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, art, and maths. Now, these are not subjects, these are the characteristics you need to be in that STEAM arena. So we'll call it leadership for want of a simple term that we bring together. And we expect all of our leaders to be good communicators. So there you go. There's the first challenge. This is number one of 10. And at the same time, people say you can't teach attitude. Well, I've got news for those people. Yes, you can. We know how to do it. We've done it in many parts of the world. Even the most difficult individuals, we've helped change their attitude. And when you change your attitude, CK, as you well know, all of a sudden things start to open up. Your awareness level changes, your soft skills, as we call them, STEM skills change. That means your leadership capability changes and, more importantly, improves. So the key thing here, and the first thing we would focus on, is, are you a good communicator? And the question we always ask is, what does communication mean? And we're fortunate because we're all born with two eyes, two ears, and one mouth. So we observe things, we see what's happening with two eyes, we listen to what's happening with two ears, but how many people jump in with one mouth? We always are very quick to respond. And the thing is, when you observe with your eyes and ears, then you allowing your brain to think. And the simple fact is, you think in a can do way because we're telling you, we're teaching you how to think in a can do way. So, how to communicate better. And it all comes through practice. Anders Ericsson did some research many years ago. And he said basically it takes 10,000 hours of practice to be an expert. Now, what he should have said was 10,000 hours of focused practice. So, not any old practice, this is focused practice. And when you think we're in school or university, actually, we're in school up to the age of 18 for about 1,000,000 minutes. How many million minutes do you spend on that which is going to be relevant to a job in the future, your employment in the future? Because the majority of those million minutes are spent on you passing exams, not building your interpersonal skills. We make a big assumption that because I'm in the classroom, we're communicating, we're, we're working as a team, we're being respectful. But there are some classrooms where that happens all the time, and there are some classrooms where it doesn't happen very often. So the key thing here is we're launching this program in India. So it's brand new to India, but you all know what it's about. And we all want great leaders, don't we?
Yes, Neville. So I think we will break it down feature by feature, and we will revisit this subject. And the good news is that people who wants to basically become a great leader, they must join YP2G. And the website is yp2g.com. It is so simple. Just click on that, and you will be given an enrollment screen. So it is something which you can do and you must do as part of your curriculum, and this is not taught in your university. So this is something very, very essential, especially for Indians, because India would like to drive the global economy now, and that is why we need to change our attitude and become a great leader. So congratulations, Neval, for launching this for the benefit of Indians. It's a world most popular program for leadership development, and we hope Indians are watching and they will join YP2G. Thank you so much.
No, my pleasure, CK. Just one slight change on the website is yp2grow.com.
Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. But the thing is, as we move further and further into India, I mean, it's a UK company. As we move further and further, it will be something else.com, which will be relevant to the Indian young people, because we need to galvanize young people and get them to recognize that a degree is important. Elon Musk says there's no point in having a degree. I don't believe that. I believe a degree is important. However, let's not forget the other part of the CV, that curriculum vitae part that every employer looks at. Who are you? What are you doing? Can I trust you? Okay, this word trust is always going to come up, and you can trust people with a can do attitude, but if they've got a can't or won't do attitude, you're going to struggle with trust. So this is it's not brand new. You will have heard about this all the time. People will have talked about communication, teamwork, how to lead people, how to listen, how to be a good team player, how to work under pressure. All of these things, but all of those we're not taught at school. It's assumed we do it. But do we?
Right. So thank you very much for joining us today, Neville. We will revisit this subject again in the next show. Until then, I'd like to say goodbye.
Bye. Good luck, everybody.
Bye bye.